Hello everyone and welcome to Sinful Gaming. I hope you're all doing well, I hope you're all staying safe, and most of all, I hope you're all fighting that war against the grey. Today's video we're going to start collecting Warhammer 40,000 boarding actions, and today we're going to take a look at the Astra Militarum, and in particular take a look at how to muster a boarding patrol for this faction. So we're going to look at all the different units we have access to, the unit sizes that have to be taken in, how we form some boarding squads for some of our units that are a little bit interesting, and the rules adaptations, generally rules that we've lost and taken out of the game for some of our units. We'll then take a look at a couple of units we recommend to get started with for the faction, before having a look at a couple of other units to expand upon those couple of initial purchases, and finally finish off the video with a little sample army list of 500 points to the standard size game for a boarding action for you to use as some inspiration for starting your own boarding action force of the Astra Militarum in Warhammer 40k 10th edition. And so, to begin with mustering a boarding patrol, first of all, you can include up to one of the following units: Acadian Castellan, Acadian Command Squad, Gaunt's Ghost, Ironhand Strachan, Militarum Tempestus Command Squad, Platoon Command Squad, or Ursula Creed. Effectively, any one of the sort of big characters, Ironhand Strachan and Gaunt's Ghost in there as well, along with Ursula Creed, means there's some cool ways to build some narrative, along with, having access to your regular Platoon Command Squad and the Militarum Tempestus really allows for a ton of different unit options. Now you can also include one of the following units as well: a sort of secondary character in a Commissar, Ogrin Bodyguard, Nork Dead Dog, Primaris Sucker, Regimental Engineer or Preacher, Sergeant Harker, and Sly Marbo. This is pretty cool because you can do, like I said, a really cool thematic force here with some of the combos you're already starting to see. And then you can include up to 3 of the following of each of these units: Acadian Shock Troops, Catachin Jungle Fighters, Death Corps of Creek, Infantry Squads, and Tempestus Scions. Now the only thing there is Tempestus Scions are in 5 or 10 models, all the others are in 10 model units. Lastly, you can also include one of each of the following units in a Bullgryns squad, a Kazagan squad, Rattlings, and Ogrins squad as well. Now, when you form some boarding squads with some of these units, if you're forming boarding squads, you can attach the Ogrin Bodyguard to a command squad unit specified in this loyal protector rule, sort of increasing the unit size to 6, but easily doing. And then when forming the following units, you don't separate them down into boarding squads. They remain at their strength, and that is all your base sort of troops. So Acadian Shock Troops, Catachin Jungle Fighters, Death Corps Creeks, and Infantry Squads, they always remain at 10 models. Now we do lose a few interesting rules. First of all, the Acadian Shock Troopers lose Shock Troops. This, for me, really does take them down a peg and makes them one of the least good options. I think there are definitely some other options I prefer. Gaunt's Ghost will lose the Covert Stealth Team ability, so they lose probably their big ability. Militarum Tempest will lose Deep Strike, not a big loss, they've still got plenty of other good abilities. Nor Dead Dog will lose his Thunderous Headbutt. Rattling Snipers lose Shoot Shot and Scrapper abilities. Sly Marbo loses Like Fighting a Shadow, and Ursula Creed loses the Tactical Genius ability. Turns out in a Space Hulk, it's really hard to be a tactical genius. Today's video is brought to you by Gap Games, a fantastic retailer in Australia for a variety of different miniature war games. If you'd like to help support the channel, we have an affiliate link where by clicking on and purchasing, you'll help support the channel, but you'll also help support Gap Games, which is a fantastic servant to the community. And so, where to begin for the Astra Militarum, and the Militarum Tempestus Command Squad is my go-to one. Now, there is a few reasons for this, and the Tempestus Signs joining them as my other place to get started. I want to talk about why I like the Tempestus Signs and the Tempestus Command Squad. So first of all, we have our standard weaponry, which is going to be the Hotshot Lasgun, rapid fire weapon, -1 AP. Rapid fire is going to be really nice in the short sort of range. And we've also got the Tempestor Prime ability, where if he's attached to a unit, he can also give his unit sustained hits 1, which is pretty cool. And then we've got a variety of different things. The Command Rod is actually a really cool upgrade. While the bearer's leading a unit, they can be affected by up to 2 different orders at the same time. So this is a really interesting sort of ability he can use. And the Master Vox as well. Each time the officer in the bearer's unit issues an order, it can issue it to an eligible unit up to 24 inch away. Now, he does have the option to take a Tempestus Dagger, which gives him a few extra attacks in there. You've also got Feel No Pain 6+ on the unit, thanks to a Medipack in them. I think in all round, they can take a variety of different things to make them a really interesting choice. Now, the Tempestus Signs, for me, this is another good reason why your Tempestus Command Squad is interesting. Tempestus Signs will become Battle Line in any case that matters, but Stormtroopers here, they don't lose their main ability like a lot of the other ones do. And what it is each time a monolith unit makes an attack, you can re-roll a hit roll of 1. And if the attack is targeting an enemy unit within range of an objective marker, you can re-roll the hit roll entirely instead. For me, this just really puts them above all the other options of sort of main sort of troops we'll have in the Force. I'd be taking, you know, my unit of these every time in a boarding action. I think when you compare them, yes, they are going to be more expensive than things like your basic sort of squads of Death Corps, Krieg, Kaddish, and Jungle Fighters, etc. I think they do way more output with those re-rolls. And so, where to go next after that? And I think a Primaris Psyche is a really interesting bring into the Force. First of all, you have the cool abilities this is going to part onto units that joins with the Malign Wardings to give Feel No Pain 4+ against psychic attacks for the models in a unit this is leading, and Psychic Barrier as well. At the start of your opponent's shooting phase, you can roll a d6. On a 1, the Psychic unit will suffer d3 mortal wounds, unfortunate. On a 2+ until the end of the phase, the Psychic unit, however, will have a 4-up invulnerable. Pretty cool ability to be able to bestow. You've also got some cool focused Witchfire powers, where you can do d6 plus 3 attacks at 3+ to hit, strength 6, minus 2 AP, damage 2. I think is a really good trade-off for having that hazardous ability. It's also devastating wounds and blast, so pretty darn powerful. The Kazakin are next, one of the many kill team come regular units, and I really like them. First of all, you can take a ton of special weapons in this unit, up to 5 different special weapons of range variety with a marksman rifle, and then 4 specialist weapons which can include things like flamers, grenade launchers, hotshot volley guns, melter guns, and plasma guns. You've also got the ability to take a plasma pistol and power weapon on the unit sergeant. You then have the Melter Mine as well, which can be really fun to use, where once per battle at the start of any phase, you can select one enemy within 3 inch, and they'll suffer d3 mortal wounds. It would do more against the vehicle, but it is still a cool thing to just be able to do some mortal wounds in combat. Now, you've also got the Warrior Elite rule, where in your command phase you can select an order to affect this unit starting in the next command phase, in addition to any other orders issued to this unit by an officer model. So, really cool at being able to influence themselves without needing officers around them, which is really cool, considering we do have less officers in a force of a boarding patrol, just based on how the game sort of plays around. Now, the other units I want to look at are definitely the 2 Ogrins style units. I think these really add a lot of punch to the Force. And the first of these, of course, is the Bullgryn, the dedicated combat ones. They've got 2 options here, and for me, it is the Bullgryn Mauls all the way for that higher strength, minus AP, and the 2 damage here. I think when they also have Wall of Damage, where they're going to be -1 damage as well, is just really nice. Regular Ogrins are a much cheaper option, and they do have the point-blank barrage rule, where each time a monolith unit makes a ranged attack that targets the closest eligible target, very likely they are going to do that in a boarding action, improve the AP of their weapons by 1, so they can have their Ripper Guns 4 attacks, weapon skill 3+, strength 6, minus 2 AP, damage 2. And so here we have our sample army list for you. We are 485 points, so there is 15 points spare, but remembering there will be some things you can get in a boarding action if you are the player with the less points. Now we've got our Primaris Psyche, and then we have our Militarum Tempestus Command Squad, Command Rod on that Tempesta Prime there, but then also Uncompromising Persecution as well. What this does is, in your command phase, you can select a friendly Militarum Tempestus unit within 9 inch. Each time a model in that unit makes a ranged attack that targets a unit within half range, you improve their AP of their weapons by 1. Really nice to sort of push through some extra damage. We've gone for the plasma gun as a special weapon in here. I think we do need the higher AP. We've got plenty of shots coming out of some of our units, but we do need that little bit of extra armor penetration. So, Tempestus Science then become a battle line unit. They'll have a hotshot volley gun and plasma gun as their weaponry in there, and a plasma pistol and power fist on the Tempesta Sergeant. We then have for our other units, we've got the Kazakin squad loaded to the nines with all the different special weapons, Melter Mine, Voxcaster, and a power weapon and plasma pistol on the Sergeant. Ogrin squad and a Bullgryns squad with the Brute Shields and Bullgryn Mauls, giving them that all-important invon. If you've got some ideas on how to play the Astra Militarum in Warhammer 40k boarding actions in 10th edition, let us know your thoughts down in the comments below. And so that is the end of the video. Thank you all for watching. We hope you enjoyed it. If you did, please don't forget to leave a like and subscribe to the channel. If you'd like to come chat more with me, we have a Discord server for the channel, and that is linked down in the video's description. Also linked down in the video's description are the best ways to help support the channel. This is either via Patreon or YouTube members using one of our affiliate links and codes down there like Baron of Dice, Gap Games or Mithras Games, or by supporting us directly on Patreon or YouTube members. If you'd like to do any of those, we have links for that all in the description, and as a special thank you to our Patrons and YouTube members, we'd like to give them all a shout out. So thank you to our Patreons: Soren, Kenny Lowell, Outer and Shot First, Andrew Bowen, Cure Dynamic, JJ Austrian, Average Wargamer, Domir, Mark Harvey, James Cater, Benjamin Swallers, Red Martin, Iron Grinch, Colorblind Magic, Grimscold and Andy C, and our YouTube members: Greenridge Gaming, Ronya, Lock Loric, The Johnny84, Broken Chef, Ariana Edwards, Revenar, Pink Nico Fire, Robin Mankiller, Monty's Tabletop Terrain, James Tillman, Disco, and John Castle. Lastly, a special thanks to Lady Witchfox Art, who does all the amazing artwork you see on the channel. Once again, everyone, thank you all for watching. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and drop a comment down below. Stay safe, stay well, and most of all, keep fighting that war against the Grey. Ciao for now.